Hello everybody, in this video we're going to show you the fixed asset mini app, and this is where we record the transactions for fixed assets. Now the depreciation is calculated by Phoebe. That happens after we've submitted the transactions, and then we go through a whole calculation and we calculate for book values, for tax values, and for deferred tax. But that is a completely automatic process that happens on the Phoebe side. Here all we have to do is capture the transactions, which are additions and disposals. Okay, and this is a little bit interesting because we have a two-tier approach. First, we have to capture the invoice value. So we're going to capture additions by invoice. Okay, and so what we're doing here is we're doing first we're going to do the actual invoice. So we're going to go to the creditor, choose the creditor, and then we're going to put in the invoice values, including the VAT, etc. But then instead of submitting that straight away, we're going to drill down from there and create a grid which contains the assets that appear on that invoice, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to code it in terms of the fixed asset requirements, and then we're going to expand it. By expansion, what we do, if you buy 5 of something, 5 tables, we will break that down for the fixed asset register as 5 individual tables, because it's much easier then to have location, and if you lose a table, then you can just write off that particular table. Otherwise it gets too messy. So you must actually expand that and break that down, and you'll see how we're going to actually do that now, and then we'll come on to disposals just now. So let's go to our additions. We're going to click here now. So I'm going to right click on my additions. Let's go look at my history. I haven't had much so far. There's just 3 items coming through over here. Okay, and it's 80,000 rands worth. Okay, and come back to here. Okay, and then on my invoice, and then here are the 3 invoices that also total the 80,000. Okay, so now I'm going to go to batch here. So what I've got a little list of asset creditors. Okay, and those asset creditors are normal creditors, but they're dedicated to selling fixed asset type items. So we know when we sell to these guys, this is for fixed asset purposes. So we're going to select Game of Thrones. And now we come through to here. Now we pre-populated this just for speed, but this particular invoice has got 13,000 plus the VAT, and we've got our different items coming through here, our top number, etc., our purchase order. So we've got those items now ready to go. Now under normal circumstances, this would be in amber. This Ellie over here would be in an amber color, but for this purpose, we're just going to go down. We're going to drill down now into the actual asset grid. So we right click on here, we right click down here, okay, and then we can come up. So now, again, we've pre-populated this grid. So we've got our different items coming through here, and we can see all the items. And now these 2 here, that's the net for the grid. That's what came through from the invoice, okay, which is dropping on the first line. These 2 must balance before you can proceed, okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the coding. So I'm going to right click where it says there that SCT stands for subcategory. So I'm going to click on here, and then I can pick up these items. I'm going to go equipment. I'm going to call this a water cannon, or even though that's a little bit unreal. Okay, now I'm coming back to furnitures. I'm going to get chairs, and I'm going to click on the chairs, and then I'm going to come back to computer, and I'm going to make a laptop, and I'm going to put it in here. And now I just click here and cat, and that takes the coding away. So now I've done my coding. Very quick, very simple, and easy to do the coding. That's the whole object of this mini app idea, is to make it very user friendly to try and capture this. Now, as I said, we now need to expand this. We can't use it. We've got here 4 spades and 5 chairs. We don't want it like that. So I'm going to right click over here, and now I've got my expanded version, okay, of how this whole thing actually comes about. Okay, so now I can actually fire this off, and now I'm ready to do the submission. So click there, and now I've submitted my fixed assets. Okay, now I can come back to here. Now if I go to my invoices history, there's my Game of Thrones coming through. That's now sent that to the creditors, the fixed asset creditors, keep them separate from normal creditors. And then we come down here, and here's my additions. And again, I can see my additions having come through here, and I can see the items. So that's how quick it is to do a fixed asset invoice. It's very quick and very easy. Most times for small business, it's unlikely to have more than 10 assets per annum, coming through. The whole point is that we're focusing on small business, so it's not going to be big, not going to be, and it's very, very easy to actually record that. This is sent to the cloud, updates the database, and you'll see the journals that come through from there. So let's just go and have a quick look now at disposals. That's the other category that we have to deal with for fixed assets. And again here, this is quite interesting. What we have a separate standalone mini app, which would be handed to the managers of who actually are responsible for sales, depending on the size of the company, and it might just be you if you're doing it yourself. But what you do is you go to the asset and you record the asset in that separate mini app. For this one here, those have already been done. So you imagine in a bigger company, you've got a number of departments. You've got 3 different managers, and they say, well, I sold this desk and I sold this computer, and that would all accumulate into a file. So when I click on disposals here, whatever they've accumulated since the last time is simply readily available for me. So that now makes it very, very easy. Now, before I actually click on that, I just want to show you the history. So here we have 3 items that we disposed of during the course of the year. Now I'm going to go back to here. Okay, so we've now got 2 items that have been accumulated. I'm going to click here, fixed asset disposal submitted, and I come back to here, go to my history now, and the item has come through here. You can see these items having come through. So now I've got my disposals for the year. And that's all there is to it. That literally is all there is to it. That is how we do the input for the fixed asset register. Thanks very much.